The OCTA Research Group has flagged the so-called COVID-19 hotspots outside of Metro Manila, which include Cagayan de Oro and Central Visayas. Let's talk about that further with OCTA Research Group member Professor Guido David. Good afternoon, sir. Which areas are we talking about, apart from Cagayan de Oro, of course, and how were they considered as COVID hotspots? Is there a numerical value?
Right. Hi, Sean. Good evening. So what we're seeing is that Cagayan de Oro is still considered high risk based on metrics from COVID Act now. So that's the highest risk level. And then we also have Cebu City, Mandaue, Lapu-Lapu. All are under high risk. And then we also have other high-risk areas include General Santos, Lawag, and also in Cavite, Bacoor, and Dasmariñas. So what we're saying is that they have a high reproduction number. Actually, most of them have critical levels of reproduction number, which means that they're already experiencing exponential growth. And then they also have high positivity rates, high attack rates, and high hospital utilization.
All right. At this point in time, can we say for certain that it is the Delta COVID variant that is driving these surges? Because Central Visayas already has the most number of known Delta variant cases as of today.
Yes. Well, we can't say for sure because if we state that there's a Delta variant, we have to establish community transmission, and how they do that is by tracking linkages in contacts, or in cases, and also, we have to do the biosurveillance and genome sequencing. Pero what we're saying is that many of these regions are the same ones where the Delta variant has been identified in. For example, Region 3, there's some Region 1, Region 4A, in Cagayan de Oro, etc. So we have to make assumptions on the distribution of the Delta variant because we only sample 100, we only take 100 samples per day for sequencing all over the Philippines. That's about 1 to 2% of the number of cases. So it's a small number. So we have to make inferences regarding how many cases of the Delta variant there are. What we're seeing is that the percentage of Delta variant is approximately 25%. There will be a margin of error, but that would be a sort of an approximation.
So it's better always to, of course, err on the side of caution and just assume that it is Delta for everyone's safety. But another thing that is kind of alarming and also kind of feels like deja vu here, Guido, that the DOH has already reported more than 8,000 new COVID-19 cases in the last 4 days. That's 4 straight days. Do you have anything to say about this? And do you see numbers going up further in the coming days? I think last week you told me we should hit 9,000 by end August. Could it be a lot sooner than that estimate?
Oh yes, it could be a lot sooner. We could hit, it's possible that we could hit 9,000 this week before the ECQ. It's right now we're averaging 1,400 cases per day in the NCR, but over the last 2 days, we've had actually 1,700 cases per day in the NCR, just over the last 2 days. And why is that alarming? It's because the last time we had more than 1,700 was back in May 10, when we were still under MECQ. That means we were still recovering from the Alpha and Beta variants. So this is definitely a big concern because cases are definitely increasing and accelerating in the NCR. In fact, the number of cases have doubled over the past 2 weeks. So 2 weeks ago, we were averaging 650 in the NCR. Now more than 1,400. Now about 1,400. When we see this doubling rate, doubling every 2 weeks, this is usually indicative of the rate of spread of the Delta variant. And this is what we're seeing in Indonesia and Malaysia and Thailand and all the other countries that have been having a Delta variant surge.
Right. So we are still, for now, under GCQ with heightened and additional restrictions until Friday. Within this week or these weekdays until the weekend when we're back to ECQ, what could possibly happen to these numbers?
Yeah, well, last week, actually, we gave this projection that the number of cases in the NCR could hit 2,000 cases per day by August 10th. And right now, because it has accelerated, it looks likely that we will hit 2,000 cases before Friday. That seems likely. And if we, assuming, of course, we have the ECQ already implemented. So what we're hoping to see, and it's actually in our projections, that we might reach up to 2,500 per day in the NCR, but it will be capped at that. That means it will not exceed past 2,500. These are, based on projections. Projections have a range of error, and so we cannot say that this is exactly what would happen. It's just a projection, and we're usually within a margin of error. We hope it will happen, but there are some other variables. For example, vaccination would help, but the Delta variant may further cause it to accelerate even further.
All right. Thank you so much, as usual, for your time and your insights and sharing them with us. Professor Guido David of OCTA Research over the phone. Thank you, sir.